He played the most powerful ruler in Ottoman history, but who he really was before the fame will surprise you. Halit Ergenç, the man millions know as Suleiman the Magnificent. The role that made him a household name across Turkey, the Middle East, and beyond. But before Magnificent Century, before the Ottoman Palace, before any of it, there was a completely different person. A person who had no intention of becoming an actor, who almost chose a life at sea, who spent years telling people close to him that he wasn't a serious man. Today we're going to find out who Halit Ergenç really is, where he came from, what he had to overcome, and why, out of everyone who came through Magnificent Century, he's the one nobody forgot. Stay until the end, because the answer starts a long time before anyone knew his name. Halit Ergenç was born on April 30th, 1970 in Istanbul. His father, Halit Ergenç, was a well-known poet, composer, and actor. Creative blood ran through the family from the beginning. Growing up in that atmosphere meant music was always present, jazz especially. From an early age, Halit was drawn to it. The rhythm, the freedom, the feeling of it. Friends and family assumed he would follow his father into the arts. It seemed obvious. The creative household, the musical ear, the natural stage presence, even as a kid. But Halit had other plans. He wanted to go to sea. The idea of long voyages, distant ports, a life defined by movement and freedom, it captured his imagination completely. In 1989, he enrolled in the maritime faculty at Istanbul Technical University, ready to become a sailor. And then reality hit. Hundreds of volumes of technical literature. Dense, dry, nothing romantic about any of it. The dream dissolved almost immediately. He looked at what was in front of him and made a decision. He pulled his documents and walked into a conservatory instead. Vocals, opera singing, a complete 180 from maritime engineering. And it was there, surrounded by music and performance, that something clicked. He decided he would become an actor. But deciding and getting there turned out to be two very different things. The conservatory gave him the foundation, but the doors didn't open immediately. While studying, he was already working as a marketer, as a camera operator, as a vocalist and dancer backing established Turkish artists. Whatever paid, whatever kept him moving forward. He graduated and then nothing. No offers from directors, no film roles, no television. So he did what most actors do when the industry isn't calling. He took the stage, musical theater, commercials, the kind of work that doesn't make headlines but keeps you sharp and keeps the lights on. Years passed like this. And here's what most people don't know about Halit Ergenç during this period. He wasn't quietly confident, patiently waiting for his moment. By his own admission, he was not a serious person, frivolous, unfocused in his personal life, the kind of man who drifted. He was terrified of one thing specifically. His father had been married many times, and Halit saw that pattern clearly enough to be afraid of repeating it. The creative gene had passed down. He hoped the rest hadn't. But the roles eventually started coming. Small ones first, then bigger. Television, film. Slowly building a filmography that showed what he could do. And then in 2011, a phone call that changed everything. The offer was unlike anything he had received before. Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent, the most powerful ruler in Ottoman history. A man who commanded an empire that stretched across 3 continents. A role that required not just acting, but transformation. Halit didn't take it lightly. He spent months preparing, reading historical documents, studying the era, the court, the psychology of a man who held that kind of power. He went deep into the character, deeper than most actors go. And then something happened that he later talked about openly. He saw Suleiman in a dream, felt the internal struggle of the man, the weight of ruling, the loneliness at the top, the conflict between the sultan and the human being underneath. He said he took those feelings, his own experiences, his own internal battles, and brought them into the role. Suleiman wasn't just a historical figure on a page. He became something personal. The series aired, and the response was immediate. Audiences across Turkey were captivated. Then the Middle East, then Russia, then Eastern Europe. Magnificent Century became one of the most watched Turkish productions in history, broadcast in over 40 countries. And at the center of it, Halit Ergenç, playing a sultan so convincingly that millions of viewers forgot they were watching an actor. The man who almost became a sailor, who spent years in musical theater waiting for his chance, who told people close to him he wasn't serious. He had just become the face of an empire. But his personal life, that story was still unfolding. Before the fame, before Suleiman, there was a first marriage. Her name was Gazem Soyaldı. They were young. She was still at university when they married, not ready for a serious commitment, not ready for children. The relationship lasted a year and a half. The divorce came in 2008, and it wasn't clean. Halit paid her $180,000 as a settlement, a significant sum, the kind of number that follows a person around in the press for years. After the divorce, Gazem found her happiness with a screenwriter. Life moved on for both of them. But for Halit, the fear was still there. His father's pattern, multiple marriages, the same cycle repeating. He had already lived through one divorce. He didn't want another. And then, a restaurant, a chance encounter. He had actually known Berçin Koral's parents when he was around 20 years old, had known of her existence as a young girl. But fate had kept them apart until the set of Bin Bir Gece, 1001 Nights. Their romance moved fast. Within months, they were inseparable, appearing in public together, making no secret of what was happening between them. In an interview, Halit said something that stopped people in their tracks, that before Berçin, he was frivolous, not serious, that she made him a complete person, that he was certain they hadn't found each other by accident. The man who was afraid of becoming his father, Sultan, had finally found the reason not to. But what happened next between them tested everything he had just said. The wedding took place in August 2009. Traditional, full ceremony, 350 guests, white and pink balloons released into the sky at the end of the evening. Berçin was 12 years younger than him. They had met by chance, or what felt like chance, a restaurant, a reconnection through her parents, whom he had known years before. Turkey noticed the couple immediately. Two actors, both recognizable, both respected. A pairing that felt natural on and off screen. And then in 2016, the ultimate test. A military melodrama called Vatanım Sensin, Halit in the lead role, and the main female character, his wife Berçin Koral. Fans had been waiting for this for years, dreaming of seeing them together on screen as lovers. And now it was happening. But the production came with unusual rules. The directors imposed strict restrictions on the couple during filming and broadcast. They were forbidden from appearing together in public places while the series was airing. No joint appearances at events. No photos together outside the set. The reason? To protect the illusion on screen. To keep audiences invested in the fictional romance without the real marriage getting in the way. The result? Rumors everywhere. Gossip columns reporting a crisis. Fans convinced the marriage was falling apart. Halit addressed it directly. In March 2017, he posted a video online, saying he was a devoted admirer and fan of his wife, that he was dissolved in her, madly in love. The rumors died. The marriage survived the test, and the couple walked out of it stronger than before. By the time the dust settled from Vatanım Sensin, Halit and Berçin had built something that Turkish showbiz rarely sees. A family, a real one. Their son Ali was born in February 2010. 10 years later, Han arrived in March 2020, and in November 2021. A daughter, Layla, 3 children. A family that grew quietly while the world watched him play sultans and soldiers on screen. For a period, the family relocated to London for the children's education. A deliberate choice, putting family first over industry visibility. In 2024, they returned to Istanbul when professional commitments called them back. Their London home currently undergoing reconstruction under a renowned architect. The life they built together reflects exactly that balance. A villa in one of Istanbul's most prestigious neighborhoods, a mansion on the Greek island, apartments in Bodrum and Çeşme, The kind of portfolio that takes years to build quietly. And Halit never stopped working. Netflix, Disney Plus, new platforms, new formats, new challenges. In 2023, he signed with Netflix for the series Anonymous Lovers. In 2024, the film Rumi. In 2025, Love Hospital on ATV. He became the face of Toyota. And then 2026, a film called Imroz de Bahar, Spring in Imroz. A story about two people whose lives intersect on an Aegean island. About whether love can emerge again during a new chapter of life. His co-star, Meryem Uzerli. Hurrem Sultan herself. A reunion 15 years in the making. The man who almost became a sailor. Who spent years in musical theater. Who called himself frivolous. 3 children. A marriage that survived public pressure and industry rumors. And still, new chapters ahead. So here's who Halit Ergenç really was before the fame. A kid who wanted to go to sea, who walked out of a maritime engineering degree because the romance dissolved the moment the textbooks arrived. Who spent years in conservatory, in musical theater, in commercials, waiting for a door that was slow to open. A man who watched his father marry multiple times and was afraid of carrying that same pattern forward. Who got married young, paid $180,000 to walk away from it, and told people close to him that he wasn't serious. And then, one role. One character he saw in his dreams before he played him on screen. One performance that reached 40 countries and made his face recognizable from Istanbul to Jakarta. And one woman, met by chance in a restaurant. Someone he had known of since she was a girl. Someone who turned a self-described frivolous man into a father of 3. That's who he was before the fame. And that's why he's different. Not because of the Sultan, not because of the awards or the Netflix deals or the Toyota campaigns, but because the distance between where he started and where he ended up is one of the most unlikely journeys in Turkish cinema. The boy who almost became a sailor, who became Suleiman the Magnificent instead. Write in the comments, did you know his story before today? And if this surprised you, you're already in the right place.